Wow. Really tiny. It's got some solid floors in there as well. Wow.
This weekend, we head out to explore the 6,000-year-old necropolis archaeological site of Bat in Ibri.
What are you guys doing today? So we're off on a trip, a quick trip, like a day trip. And we're headed off to Bat Tombs. It's an archaeological site that's a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. They've got some amazing discoveries that they've done down there. They've got beehive tombs, they've got these pillar towers, and I'm going to tell you more about that once we get there. So there are two routes if you're leaving Muscat and you're going to Bat. One takes you through Nizwa, Bahla, and all the way to Ibri, and then on to Bat. The other route is if you go on the Batna Expressway, and then you turn off into Rustaq, and then you take the route in from Rustaq. We've decided to take the Rustaq route because there's a lot of beautiful places and historical places in Rustaq that are worth a visit. So that's the route that we've taken.
Oman has one of the best road infrastructures in the region. The roads are perfect for self-drive holiday.
بسيطة نطلع كارو يتمشى شوية. Stretch his legs. So we're gonna take a short break, give Karo some time to stretch his legs. Beautiful spot. Oman's just beautiful. Let's go, Bobby. Oh, the water setup is ready. I haven't mounted my water port yet, but we have water for him, and I've got a cool little thing in here for the water. So this is awesome. Small pack. You can put water for them. You can put in, whatever they need.
So I knew that we were going to an archaeological site. I didn't want Karo to walk around and, spoil anything. So we gave him a lot of time to jump around because he was going to spend the rest of the day in the corner.
Another product that we're testing, it's from a local Omani brand called Camping Art. It's a 35-liter, it's Bluetooth enabled, and it's been doing pretty well so far. I like the size, it's nice and small, compact. Time for us to head towards Bat.
So once Karo had enjoyed his free time, we hit the road again, towards Ibri.
If you haven't had chips Oman, that is something you need to try for sure. Especially if you're visiting Oman. It can be a good meal, chips Oman, bread and cheese. Perfect breakfast.
Driving down into Ibri, you will turn into Dariz, and then from there, just follow the signpost that will take you all the way into the entrance of the archaeological site known as Bat. There's signages all the way to the archaeological site. You will enter it, and then you will end up at a drop-down gate, which was open. That's the last signage that you will see in this entire place.
We've entered into the archaeological site of Bat. This is what it looks like at the moment. The most important thing about these sites is that if you do come in, you don't touch anything because they've been here for so long, they should stay where they are.
Because no signages exist inside the archaeological site, the only way to figure out which way we were heading was to send up the drone and get a view from the sky. And what I saw was dry riverbeds and a lot of hills, and this once was a major trade route. Copper was mined in the quarries from here and sent all the way to Iraq. We found our first site and we headed down towards the Bat tombs. Bat is one of the most important sites of the early Bronze Age in the 3rd millennium BC in Oman, and together with al-Khutm and al-Ayn, they're a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Besides being a necropolis with several hundred tombs, 8 monumental stone buildings, and so-called towers, this place is magical.
About to enter the first archaeological site, right behind me right there. If you can see those are the Bat tombs. Let's go check them out.
Around 3000 BC, there was an intense trade of copper and stone, probably diorite, with the Sumerians. The necropolis consists of 100 graves and circular buildings, each with a diameter of about 20 meters. Now these buildings have no outside openings, so besides the possibility of their ritualistic function, they may have been used as tanks or silos, but their precise function is as yet unknown. Behind me over here, this is one of the collapsed tombs, and it gives us a good insight to the architecture of these things. So you've got a really thick wall that has all these slabs. It's about 1 meter thick, making the inside of these tombs, although they look very big, actually a really tiny space. I think this would probably be enough to put in maybe someone's burial site and some of their possessions for the afterlife. 6,000 years old. Some of these tombs do have a very small opening right at the front, and I couldn't help myself. I had to see what was inside.
Of course, one of the good things to do here is always be respectful. We don't know if these were graves, we don't know what they were exactly. So before we go in, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, put on the light.
Wow. Really tiny. It's got some solid floors in there as well. Wow. So this was probably a burial chamber of some sort. Pretty cool. It's time for us to go have a look at one of the other sites. Now this area contains 3 main sites, Bat, Khutm and al-Ayn. We made our way towards the next site. Upon reaching site number 2, there was a signpost that said you don't tamper with anything, but the gates were closed and locked. It's a good thing I had my drone because I wanted to take a closer look at this amazing structure. Once again, no real information is available on the site because there are no signposts at all. But I pretty much knew that this was one of the major towers at the site of Bat known as Qasr al-Rujum. It's a niched structure constructed from monolithic blocks of stone and housing 13 small chambers and a well at the tower's center. Now, opposite this structure, you'll be able to spot the remains of several tombs beneath and on the slopes of the nearby hills. This site is also fenced off, but it seems that it's fenced off to prevent anyone from off-roading without being aware that there's an archaeological site. More than 100 tombs stand defiantly on the hilltops of northern Oman. They're all shaped like beehives. Little is known about the tombs, and very little is known about the culture that constructed them. And there's very little signage in this place, but we do know that they date back to more than 6,000 years ago. Now altogether, they form one of the largest protohistoric necropolises in the world. It was time for us to head back home. I hope you liked this episode, and if you did like it, I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. And remember, keep exploring.